I'm Chasing Yagoni, and today what we're going to be doing is the basics of Unity. And yeah, today we're going to be starting a whole new series. And I'm also expecting that you're a beginner in Unity, and that's what I'm mainly teaching the course about. So if you're slightly more experienced in Unity, I recommend you to just skip to the next video. So um, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so now the first thing that we need to do is open up Unity. And that will take a little bit of time. Okay, and now that Unity's opened up, let's create a whole new project. So let's click New. And now we have a project. I can call this anything I want. So let's just call this Unity course. Yeah. And so now what we have is a name for a project. We also have templates to start off with. And as seen right here, we have 2D, so we can create a 2D game. And we have 3D, with extras, and high definition RP. So we also have things like this. And we also can start off with our own little games if we're really new to Unity. But in this course, instead of just downloading a game that's already built for us to begin with, we're going to be creating a whole new project from scratch. So let's click the create button. And now what we need to do is just wait for it to fully create. Okay, so now that we have a whole new project, we can switch out these panels as shown right here. So if I have this game menu, I can just switch it to this. This is my personal preference, but I can move this project bar over here, and I can do other things like that. So like what I just did right here, I'm just going to move it back. I'm just going to move it to this, which is my personal preference. And now this is like the very basics of Unity. So the first thing that I want to actually show is the tools. So if we press Q right here, we can also select this in the handlebar. The first tool that I want to show is, you can also press Q as a quick way to go to it. And this is a pan tool, so we can just move around like this. And we also have this tool right here. It's not really a tool, but it does help you move around. Also, if you press this cube, it does let you use a 2D view. Usually this is mostly used in 2D games, but if we want, we could also use this for a 3D game, but it's not used that often. So now we also have, if we press W, we have the move tool, which we can move this camera around, just like this. It doesn't look like it changed too much in the real game, so let's actually create a whole new cube as shown right here. So I just used the add button here, and I created a 3D object. I can also create many other things like lights, audio, UI, canvases, and also other cameras to use. So right now, what I have right here is just a regular cube. So with this tool, I can move it around anywhere I want in the scene, and that's actually pretty cool. And I can also I also have this directional light, which lets me kind of mess around with the statistics and the way the light looks. So I could just change the color of the light to kind of gray, or I can make it a little bit lighter, maybe even a little bit of blue, just like this. Yeah, so it's kind of bluish now. So I can make everything look super blue and things like that. So that's actually an interesting thing where there's many types of ways to go about this, so I can just do like 1.5 and it'll be much more brighter than usual. So now let's actually move on to what makes this game look a little bit better and what gives it that like good feel about it, because at the moment this cube looks a little bit plain. It just looks white. So to change this immediately, what I'm going to want to do is click this button, and now there's a ton of things right here. So I'm just going to click materials. So it's right under audio mixer. I think that'll help a little bit. And if we click material, we have a whole new material as shown right here. And now what I can do with this is I can rename this, and I can call this whatever I want. So player mat, as shown right here. So now this is our player mat, and I can change the color of this. So if I change this to red, and then drag this and drop this in the scene, right onto the cube, and now as shown right here, our cube is now red. So right there and right then and there, in real time, if I change this while it has that material, it will actually change the color in the scene. So if I change this to blue right here, it'll still fully go in the scene. Also, if I didn't like this color that I just made, or if I think that maybe I should change it back, that the past color was better, I can just click this, and it just reset the colors. So that's the color that it used to be, and now I can just mess around with it again. So we also have this camera, which we can mess around with displays, so we can have different angles on of a camera. So if I were to create a camera right here, and if I were to make this target display, and if I were to set that to 2, now we have 2 different cameras, but they're actually we have 2 different cameras, and they're on different displays, so we can see them. So if I to show this in a better perspective, if I go to this display and click play, right now it should just let's wait for it. Yeah, it's taking a bit. And now it looks like it actually hit play. So if I change the displays as shown right here, now it's showing from this camera's perspective instead of the past camera's perspective. So yeah, that's what it's doing. So if I go right here, that's this camera. And then if I switch back, it's a whole different perspective. So okay, now the next thing that I'm going to show, which is actually pretty cool, is the skybox thing right here in the camera. So right here, if I select this clear flag thing, and if I select skybox, we can actually check another thing. So if I check solid color, now if we switch to display 2, everything will just be blue. So if I move this down here, and I also wanted to say anything that you do when the game's in play mode, it's not going to be saved at all in Unity in the actual scene. So I made that mistake before, and that's just a really fair warning. So now right here we have a background. So if I change this background, which I can change it to whatever I want, it'll update in real time. So there's also a little bit more. And actually, yeah, I almost forgot to show you all of the tools. So these are the other tools. The rotator tool, which yeah, you need to press E for, which is pretty much, it just rotates it. Yeah. There isn't really too much to say about this. But yeah, that's pretty much what it does. And now I also have the sizer tool, which if I select this white thing and go up, it'll make the object bigger. And if I select this and go down, it'll make it smaller. So we can also extend it in these certain directions. Also go to the scale and make this 3, 3, and 3, so it's now much more bigger, but let's make it small right here. So now I have one more thing, which is the rect tool. Yep, that's pretty much what it does. And the next thing is also this tool, which allows you to do everything in one specific thing. So you'll have every single tool and you won't need to keep maneuvering and changing around. So now I also add a new cube right here. And I'm just going to select the scale of the X to, let's say 100, and the Z to 100. And I think that that's about good. So right now what I'm going to be doing is actually showing you how the, oh yeah, also keep in mind that these have box colliders on them as in these components. So that's actually really important because that's what it lets hit the other objects in the scene. Without it, it would just fall straight through. Let me just show that right here. So if I open rigid body and do this, if I'll just not mess around with the mass, I'll just select gravity. And if I click play, okay, well, it's taken a little bit of time. Okay, so I think you may have barely saw it, and it just decided to fall ground. And if we go right here, it does immediately fall. So if I select it like this, it will fall as its rigid body. So if I try rotating it, it'll immediately go in its specific pattern. So that's actually a cool thing that's with rigid bodies, and without a box collider, which I forgot to show, but if I do this without a box collider, then it'll just fall practically forever. Or at least it'll fall straight through the object. So just like this, it started falling immediately. And to show this, it fell straight through this object. So yeah, I think that's pretty solid proof that box colliders do matter a lot in games like this. And I think that yeah, there's a few other things. Which one is that you can actually disable and enable the cube in the scene. So you can completely make it not be a part of the scene when it's still you still don't have to delete it at all. So that's another cool thing. And I can also select these things and make them childs of another object. So right here, this cube right now, if I select it and make this camera, actually that's the other way around. If I make this camera a child of this cube, now it'll be following this cube around everywhere it goes. So to show this as an example, let's just click play. And there we go. I think that it may have gotten missed. So let's just do this again. So as you can see, this camera is following the cube wherever it goes. So now if I just do this, the camera will also follow along with it too. So that's also a cool thing. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to mention that we have one last thing I think that we'll have in Unity that I will put in this specific video, and that is that you can add a whole new scene. So you can call this level 1 in your scene, and now you can also save the scenes. And we'll switch to a whole new scene right here. So I'm just going to switch to display 1. And now we have a whole new scene. If we go back to the sample scene, we have everything saved right here. And we have a whole new clean slate for everything else. So this almost wraps things up, but I just want to show a little bit of what I'm going to be doing in the future. And that will be create C# script. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be attempting to create a C# script, which actually, I'll be creating a C# script in C#, and and it'll be for movement. So until then, actually, yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to be posting about scripts almost entirely, and it'll also go a little bit more deeper into this whole coding and Unity perspective of things. But well, this is the very basics of Unity so far. And yeah, leave a like if you want me to carry on the series. And other than that, bye.